So this New York Times reporter says, New York Times reporter locks Twitter account after falsely accusing tech entrepreneur of using a slur. Now, did you hear about this story? This story, well, it says here, according to Mediaite, it says a New York Times reporter locked her account on Twitter this week after falsely claiming that tech entrepreneur Mark Andreessen used a slur during a private chat online. So she's monitoring people's private chats and then tattling on them, and she's getting it wrong. And then she acts like she's the victim. She's the front. She gets her stuff printed on the front page of the New York Times. She's not anyone's victim. She's the one who gives everyone else heartburn and headaches. That's her job. Her job is to piss people off and make enemies, right?
Yes.
But instead, what she's doing is policing people's private chats to try to play gotcha. I caught you using a not a okay word. Here it is. At Pamarka, just openly using the R slur on Clubhouse tonight, and not one other person in the room called him on it saying anything. So that's not what happened. That's false. That's not what happened. That's false. Look, and she shows the people, what the fuck are you doing, Taylor? That's amazing. That's amazing. So this is more from Mediaite. Another participant in the discussion on Club. So it's that club room or club. I thought it was Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
But I think they're specifying that was a specific room.
Yeah,
in
a specific room.
Right.
Where voices may be heard, but video of participants cannot be seen, allegedly referring to the forum's controversial self-references. So somebody used the R word, but they weren't calling anybody the name. They were saying the people on this app refer to themselves as this. And she said that guy used it. It wasn't even that guy, and they weren't using it the way she said. And this is now reporting? That's reporting, saying so you overheard a private chat where someone used the R word? Lorenz deleted the allegation. Many heard Mark's voice because it was the male, she wrote in a follow-up message. I hope everyone who used this word can think more carefully about why people in the audience were upset. The move wasn't enough to quell critics. She tweeted this. This is not an apology. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, no, so I just want to clarify here, just make it sure, like, because I wasn't crazy familiar with this. So this was after she found out that she got it wrong.
Yeah, after she found out she got... Yes.
So the person who she said that did not say that. And this quote that you're reading, that this is her kind of an apology, but not really an apology.
Yeah, so she deletes the tweet. Okay. So she deletes the tweet, Ron, and then she tweets this out as if this is supposed... What's this is she's blaming other people for her getting it wrong.
Mm-hmm. She's
wagging her finger at people as she has to delete a tweet that she got wrong. And she wags her finger at people. Imagine you get snatched up for publishing false aspersions about someone, Camille Foster said, and for your non-apology encore performance, a tut-tut directed at everyone else. I hope you all learned something today. Can't wait until Taylor Lorenz starts showing up uninvited to parties wearing comically large sunglasses and a fake mustache, furiously tweeting in the corner as the guests talk and have a good time, said the editor of The Spectator, Amber Athey wrote. And so here's what she tweeted out on March 9th. For International Women's Day, please consider supporting women enduring online harassment. It's not an exaggeration to say that the harassment and smear campaign I've had to endure over the past year has destroyed my life. And no one should have to go through this. What about Julian Assange, Taylor? Do you know what destroyed your life means? You still get paid 100% of your salary. Your stories are still appear on the front page of the New York Times. Right? Where does your life get destroyed? Because people said mean shit to you on Twitter? Welcome to the club. Oh, my life has been destroyed, Ron. I don't know if you know. I've had corporate media slandering me for 4 fucking straight years. And Twitter hate because I advocated for health care. Not because I tattled on someone in a private conversation and called it news. But because I advocated for health care. Destroyed her life, Ron. You locked your Twitter account. Do you know that actual journalists get locked up, right? Like Julian Assange. You falsely accused someone else and then blamed everybody else for it. And you got your life destroyed. Your life got destroyed. She's still a front page reporter for the New York Times writing about bullshit. She covers TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Greenwald tweeted out, Taylor Lorenz is a star reporter with the most influential newspaper in the United States, arguably in the West. Her work regularly appears on its front page. Her attempt to claim this level of victimhood is revolting. She should try to find out what real persecution of journalists entails. Why don't you ask Julian Assange or, I don't know, Glenn Greenwald? If you're going to insinuate yourself into polarizing political debates and report or pretend to report on the powerful, you'll be attacked online. It can be extra toxic due to race, gender, sexual orientation, etc., but it's still just online insults. That's not persecution. New York Times tweeted this out in defense of her. Our response, so Tucker Carlson, the reason why we're covering this is because Tucker Carlson called her out too on his show. And the New York Times literally tweeted this out, a defense of her, because of Tucker's commentary.
Which only made people tune in more to
To
Tucker's
Tucker
commentary.
I know. Again, this is the Streisand effect. This is the New York Times. You and your reporters are not victims. You are victimizers. What is that saying? Everything printed in the paper is something someone doesn't want printed, right? Or what is that saying, Ron? The rest is public relations.
Are you thinking?
And the rest is public relations. Look, can you look up that tweet?
Yeah, it's Orwell. I'm pretty certain, and it's journalism is
printing what somebody
that they don't want, but printing what people don't want to be printed. Everything else is just PR.
That's right.
That's that's variation of it.
That's variation. So
Pretty good.
Here's what they tweeted out. In a now familiar move, Tucker Carlson opened his show last night by attacking a journalist. This is a newspaper who are supposed to be attacking people 24/7. This is the shit they're tweeting out. They're out of their minds. This is the same New York Times that fired a journalist and smeared and slandered him for using a bad word because they said intent didn't matter. And then a week later, they're like, we were wrong. Intent does matter. They're saying, this is amazing. That's like a football team saying, last night, the New England Patriots spent the first half tackling our team. They were tackling us. Yeah, that's what you guys are supposed to do. You're journalists. You're supposed to be investigating, exposing, and attacking people. That's what you're supposed to be doing as journalists. Attacking. They're attacking a journalist. It was a attacking a journalist is what the fucking Daily Beast did to me. Is what the United States and the England government is doing to Julian Assange. That's attacking a journalist. What the government of Brazil was trying to do to Glenn Greenwald, that's attacking a journalist. Not people saying mean shit to you at a newscast. Accurately, by the way. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, I was just going to say this whole thing just sounds like a really boring soap opera between media personalities. Someone said a word that I didn't like, so I'm putting this clubhouse on blast. Oh, wait, I got it wrong. The person didn't actually say that. Oh, now people are mad about this. And, oh, Tucker Carlson has an opinion on the whole thing. And here's our opinion on that. It's just this web of people opining about people who opine. Meanwhile, hey, guess what? Mississippi has had a water crisis for about a month. Is anyone talking about it? I don't think so. Great job, USA.
They haven't had clean water for 4 weeks in Jackson, Mississippi. How come Joe Biden hasn't sent FEMA there and declared it a national disaster area? He did it anyway. So let's finish this. It was a calculated and cruel tactic, which he regularly... What the fuck? They act like they're the Boy Scouts. You're the New York Times. It was a calculated and... one which he regularly deploys to unleash a wave of harassment and vitriol at his intended target. What's the difference between harsh criticism and harassment? What can someone tell? What is the difference? Taylor Lorenz is a talented New York Times journalist doing timely and essential, Ron. It was essential people know that someone used the R word in a private conversation. Journalists should be able to do their jobs without facing harassment. New York Times are the biggest fucking harassers in the world, as they should be. You got to be fucking kidding me. Real journalism is publishing something that somebody else does not want published. The rest is just public relations.
That's the Orwell.
That's the Orwell quote.
I was kind of close.
Reporting on TikTok and Clubhouse is essential because they say she's an essential. Doing essential reporting. Really? Reporting on TikTok and Clubhouse is essential? If it's an app you can't get without an invitation, it's not essential.
No kidding. Full disclaimer, I do kind of enjoy Clubhouse. But...
Ron, I went on once and I was like, no fucking way am I going on this.
You didn't like it?
Because you can be on that forever. Talk about addictive. I stopped going on Twitter. I'm not going to go to fucking... You could be there for 4 hours.
I feel like it's a lot more productive than Twitter, or it can be. I mean, you have to, and I'm still learning it myself, but I feel like you have to take your time and find out who has rooms that you get value out of and that are interesting, and you kind of just have to figure out what else is going on that you like. And so I'm still learning it, but yeah, I like it. I mean, I use it. Sometimes I just go in these Italian rooms just to try to see how much I can understand. Like, I don't really know what they're saying because it's all in Italian, but I try to follow the conversation to the best of my ability to get better at speaking, you know?
Oh, my patata dolce.
What is patata dolce?
It helps.
Means my sweet potato. Mia patata dolce.
Mia patata dolce.
Right? That's what that means.
Yeah, because dolce just by itself means dessert. So like patata dolce would be sweet potato.
Here's what I tweeted out. As someone who's been the target of nonstop smears and bad faith attacks by corporate news media for 4 years, let me just say, she's a regular Julian Assange. Hey, journalists have been imprisoned and even killed for their efforts in countries all over the world, but the princess and the pea-sized problem of a rich kid Manhattan tattletale journal, Taylor Lorenz, eclipses all of that. Nice tweet. Cenk is currently figuring out a way to defend the New York Times and blame Russia. I actually was getting in the shower before the show, and I saw the Young Turks was live streaming, and they were covering this, so I wanted to see how bad their coverage was. It's horrible. It is horrible. After the same news place that just smeared Julian Assange is defending this shit-lib fucking reporter for the New York Times as some kind of victim, while they smear Glenn Greenwald. The Young Turks did that. As they're defending someone for catching shit from people on social media, they're giving another reporter shit on social media. Talk about projection over at the Young Turks. Unfucking believable. What a garbage dumpster fire of a news show. And their own fans know it. People have stopped watching that show. No one watches that show anymore. So that's nice. I mean, they get like 4,000 live stream viewers or something like that. They have 5 million subscribers, and if anybody believes that, I'm gonna say I'll show you Cenk Uyghur's union card. Glenn Greenwald tweeted out, as social media empowers uncredentialed people to be heard, society's most powerful actors seek to cast themselves as victims and delegitimize all critiques. It's a majestic reversal of power dynamics in which the most influential unite to silence everyone else. That is what a great. That is the correct framing. So now they have to hear from uncredentialed regular people, and they're not going to have it. That's what Glenn Greenwald is saying. Society's most powerful actors, like the people who are published on the front page of the New York Times, are now casting themselves as victims of randos on fucking Twitter. Knowing you will be vilified as some kind of brute abuser if you criticize a New York Times reporter is, for many people, too high of a price to pay. So people instead refrain. They stay quiet, and that is the obvious objective of this lowly strategy. So this is them trying to deflect criticism of the New York Times and their shit reporting. With all the suffering and the deprivation and real persecution in the world, it is utterly astonishing how often coddled, well-paid, highly privileged, I don't even know what this word is. What is this word? Coiffed, insulated, protected U.S. elites posture as the world's most oppressed class. It's quite sickening, and it's offensive. And he tweets out a picture of Jim Acosta. A dangerous time to tell the truth in America, Jim Acosta, because of Trump. Fuck off. That's Jim Acosta who thinks Julian Assange should be persecuted. Tough call. If you want to read about what actual persecution looks like, go check out what the U.S. and the U.K. governments are doing to Julian Assange. To start with, I can't imagine how much he'd love to trade that for mean tweets about him online. But you know what? It's a dangerous time to tell the truth in America, so they just don't do it. Jim Acosta never told you the truth. He'll never tell you the truth about war, about progressives, about fucking the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, Julian Assange. He'll never tell you the truth about any of that shit. Come sta?
Bene, e tu?
Bene. Adoro fare il notiziario.
Adoro what?
Adoro fare il notiziario. I love doing the news.
Ah, sì. Va bene, anch'io.
Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you we join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.